Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Edna and I'm so excited to film this video because I have been doing my research, looking things up, talking to a bunch of different people, and I feel like I've already found so many ways of having a better and healthier relationship, and I'm incorporating those things, and things are going really well with my friends, with my family, with my future bae. So I figured I would share with you guys, and I haven't started therapy yet. I'm on the list to get a consult scheduled, but yeah, all these things I've kind of looked up on my own, and I truly think that they might be beneficial for some of you. So let's get started. Let me pull my hair forward. I feel like that's my look, like it's a half up and then it's always forward. But anyways, let's start with the first one, which I feel like might be common sense to everyone, like an obvious one. But my first tip on having healthy and better relationships is that communication is key. And it really is, because we all have a past. Whether we like to accept it or not, we do. And I think that when people do things and we don't know what their past entails, we haven't shared our side or vice versa, then it becomes really hard to not let their actions trigger you from past trauma. And what I mean by that is, for example, I've had a lot of girlfriends and partners just completely disappear. That has caused me to, if someone reads my messages but doesn't answer for a long time, I'm like, oh my God, are they gone too? Like, it's a really messed up way of thinking. But I've gotten really good about sharing, like, look, this is what I've gone through, this is what I think when this happens, and this is how it makes me feel. And I honestly think that's been so helpful. In order to not let things trigger you, your family, your friends, or your partner, make sure the communication is solid and make sure you share past things, once you're comfortable, because you don't want the past affecting your present or your future. The second tip is to stop assuming the worst. Now, I think sometimes it's really easy to assume the worst about the people we are closest with. And I think that's because we know their deep, dark secrets. We're super comfortable. We have known them for years and years. So you're like, oh, well, if they did it to that person, they might do it to me. But that's a really messed up thing to do, because things happen. Life happens. And sometimes sometimes things just come up. Don't assume the worst of people. Like, for example, I'm guilty of sometimes assuming the worst of my exes, like the boyfriends I've had in the past. Why don't I assume the worst of my friends, or the worst of, my brothers, or my whatever? It's because I'm comfortable doing that. So it's important to not jump to conclusions and give people the benefit of the doubt, because if the roles were reversed, you would want someone to cut you some slack and to, believe in you and believe you're a good person, and just maybe something came up, or maybe they're busy, or you forgot, or whatever the case may be. But you don't want to assume the worst in people. My third tip to having healthier relationships is to be the best version of yourself. I know for a fact when you met this person, you were on your very best behavior, you were doing good in life, and maybe now you're falling into the routine of being angry all the time, being grumpy, being jealous all the time, having the same freaking arguments. I was watching a YouTube video from this guy named Stefan, which he's amazing. I think he has really good advice, honestly. But what he was saying is that we need to be the best versions of ourselves every day. It's normal to have a bad day here and there, but you shouldn't have a bad day every single day with your significant other, or with your sister, or with your brother, or with your coworker. That should not be the case. That just adds negativity into your life. And if you're stressed, or you're tired, or you're hungry, then you need to fix those things. You need to make sure that you're focusing on you. You need to make sure that you're putting in work to yourself so you can be the best version. You need to be drinking your water, getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, and finding ways to de-stress, because if you're unhappy, then you're going to throw that out into the world and to those around you. So being the best version of yourself is honestly a great way to have a good relationship with others and to not be ruining their day, honestly. This fourth tip is something that I would say primarily applies to romantic relationships, and it's just to beware of social media. You need to be very careful, because once you make that transition into being with someone, being in a relationship, it seems like everyone and their mama now wants you. And for me, I'm very open. Like, I'm clear that, I stopped opening messages, or I'm deleting, or I'm blocking, or I'm just being honest and saying, hey, I'm with someone, like, don't message me like that. I think it's up to you. You can decide whatever you want to do. You can decide if you want to share that information with your partner, or you just want to ignore the DMs. But it's not just DMs, honestly. I've had friends in the past who have broken up with their boyfriends because they were liking, like, IG model pictures that were very, like, sexy and scandalous and whatnot. And I don't know, I think there's a fine line. I personally follow a lot of really attractive men. Now, I'm not looking at their shit. Like, if I happen to come across it, I'll like it, but I'm not, like, openly looking. And I would hope that's the same thing for my partner, right? But I think that's a conversation that can be had. I don't think you should control I don't think you should control your partner's social media. You shouldn't be looking through their shit. Like, if people are gonna be messy, it will come out. So you really don't have to worry. If someone starts messaging you with proof that something's going down, okay, maybe they're, like, trying to help you out. And another issue with social media is that it's super easy to become jealous through social media. But you have to remember, guys have girlfriends and girls have guy friends, and it comes with them. Like, you can't expect for someone to grow up an entire lifetime and not have friends from the other sex. Like, you just cannot expect that. So you don't want to come out as a psycho girl. And I've had my moments where I've been like, who's this and who's that, and why is she reposting you or posting you or this or that? And I've had my dark moments, I'm not gonna lie. I've had one guy cancel a date because I was, like, going off on what I saw on his story. But honestly, I dodged a bullet there, so the crazy helped. But if you're really into your partner and you want a good relationship, you want it to be healthy, be careful with social media. You don't want to let strangers cause rifts and issues in your relationship. If you're with a person you trust, you admire, you respect, you love, then social media should not define them or you. So yeah, be careful with that. You can message me if you need help or support. If you're having a moment, I've had my moments of jealousy, of anxiety, of jumping to conclusions. But at the end of the day, social media is a platform to share your pictures, your ideas, just your life. And you don't want that to consume your relationship or become the biggest issue you have. So please, please be careful with that, and do not let those F-boys slide through your DMs, because it will be a black hole. You'll get sucked in, and eventually it will come back to bite you in your booty. So just watch out. Just be careful. Be mindful. And last but not least, I have to say, I am guilty of not doing this, but I am definitely working on it. I think this one is one that for people who their love language is physical touch, we're really touchy, we want to hug, we want to kiss, we want to do all these things. It's hard to follow this one. But my fifth piece of advice is to respect boundaries. You really have to listen to people, and when they say they don't like something, don't keep on doing it. Now, I understand it's hard. Like, some people don't like PDA, for example, and some people love PDA, but you have to find some sort of balance. If you guys are both at extreme opposites, it is not gonna work. If you're able to be flexible here and there, okay, cool. But you have to listen to your partner, your friends, your family, whoever this applies to. If they set boundaries and they're clear about them and they're communicating, they're doing their part. They're sharing what they do or they don't want. So make sure you respect that. And I honestly think that'll do wonders for a relationship of any kind. All right, you guys, I'm hoping that one of these 5 tips helps you out. Hopefully all of them were helpful for you. But honestly, they've really been working for me, and I'm just really happy. So hopefully all the good energy that I'm living is also shared with you guys. Of course, like always, thank you so much for watching my videos, for supporting, and for being here for me. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.